Monica reviews mods. It's designed to be yep, you know. I agree. And of course, just like any other mod, it starts off super loud. Holy shit.
I think that's the same with everything though. The main theme is just really loud compared to everything else.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is loud.
I had to turn it down.
I think that's loud even for... Isn't the default volume like 75 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is it like that?
No idea.
Is Dancel Battle stupid?
I think maybe you're just supposed to turn down your PC audio before loading. I've had a lot of games that load into like very loud volumes. Holy shit, it actually starts! It's not like the last mod. Alright. Hey there! Thanks for visiting so early today. I know work can be a pain in sometimes, but I appreciate the effort. Work? Motherfucker, I'm sitting down playing a DDLC mod. You think I'm working right now?
It does count as work because you're doing it for the community, for the dubs.
True. Also, I didn't even realize. Hey, Freddy. I got
fast.
Freddy
Let me have chat open just in case. Alright, I got an Uber bag so I could get here as soon as Alright, well, not a capitalized I and possible spelled wrong. So
no dot at the end. So many grammar mistakes.
I think I need to see this mod for myself. Well, if you keep playing, I might shoot it in a minute.
Oh, it
Okay.
looks like intentional. Okay.
I just couldn't wait to talk to you. I mean, I always can't wait, but today I just couldn't sit still. Before I got lost in my praise for you, let's just cut to the chase. What did you think of the mods? What are the mods? Fucking... there's Midnight Date, there's Turquoise, and there's Exit Music Redux. The only one I've played out of those is Exit Music Redux, but I do have to play Turquoise as well, at some
Wait,
point.
hold on.
We need a midnight date.
Oh yeah, and Midnight Day, and Midnight
the
Day.
grammar's bad.
So I've only not played Turquoise. So,
Oh, I didn't mean you
I-
actually meant a guy called Freddy. I thought you just said that out of nowhere. Hi, Freddy.
I am welcoming a random Freddy.
I thought that was part of the mod.
Just
a random guy, Freddy.
Hi, Freddy.
Just a fucking Freddy Fazbear just pops out of the space room.
The man behind the slaughter. Why he purple?
What did you think of the mods? Midnight Date was alright, it was pretty good, and then Exit Music Redux is trash, so yeah. Haven't played Turquoise. For that, let me just do one last check of the system.
What's Midnight Date? I don't know what that is.
Midnight Date is Yuri mod, where she's a vampire, basically. It's a pretty interesting mod. It's for a Yuri mod, it's pretty good. It'll be a little harder to check while we're doing this, so I want to be thorough with this one in case I don't get the chance. What are you talking about? Well, I'm doing that to try to loosely contextualize to the players at home what's happening here. Me? Don't give too much away, though. Sure. Hey, player. I'm talking to you now. This mod you're playing is like a recording of me and money.
In the beginning.
In the beginning, we played 3 mods over 2 weekends. I mean, I guess Turquoise and Exit Music Redux are... EMR is like a fairly medium
When
mod.
did you play Redux?
When did I play? Like, when I first joined the community. Way long ago.
Then you didn't know you were all about it right now.
After she finished the Oust mod, she said she wanted to make something. And well, that brings us to now. You're gonna get to see my mommy talk about the mods you love so dearly. No idea how she put this together. Is this intentionally written bad? It's hard to...
Yes, it is. Monika has proper grammar.
Yeah, because Monica speaks relatively fine.
Yeah, it's intentional.
She took so long making this, I couldn't spend time with her, so you better appreciate it. Please, you're too kind.
Yes, there's a twist.
See?
What's the twist?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
guess, boys.
That he's illiterate, but Monica's perfectly fine? I don't know. Now, before we get started, I have a couple things I
He's
want
a
to
bit
mention.
regarded, okay? The MC's regarded, okay?
First, just know that I'll be using the console to play music, so just ignore it whenever it comes up. Like this.
No, get it out! Get it out! Oh,
Bass game music, oh no! Alright.
Remington 18.
Get out of my
We
head.
chillin'. So don't worry if it shows up. shows up 还有啊，冰淇淋. I know it's a little bigger than your
This one's
Hey yo! Hey, wait, what are we doing in bed? Hey yo, hold on. Pause, brother. It's a little bigger than you used to, but I changed it while I was working on something. Haven't gotten around to changing it back. It's pretty nice to have it this big. That's what she said. Some error messages can get pretty long, so being able to read them more easily is a massive help. Next, I want to quickly explain how this all works a little more. The mod is being made by actively transcribing what's happening in this instance of the game to another script. I'm doing this way because extracting the script of this conversation after it happens is a lot trickier due to my heightened autonomy. Put simply, there are a bunch of small things in the code that work in here because I've worked on stabilizing the game instance. If I were to just inject... Okay, we get it. Technical. Just get to the review. My little program gets all around that. One problem, the method of this game gets a little lost. Let's get past the technical explanation. You should have done that like a couple lines ago. The mod will break down around 200 lines in. If you haven't deleted the girls already, I advise you to do so now. I've already did that. It was in the installation instructions. Can you communicate to the players in a note with the mod or something? I'll see if I can get a pop-up when the mod is loading, instructing the players to do so, but okay, I've already done it. Already did it. Don't worry about all that, I make it clear in the post to add a mote in the mod files. Thank you. Anyway, I do enjoy coding a lot, but I definitely need a break. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to clear up. Can you think of any questions they might have? Nothing wrong now, but if we come up with something, I'll add it to the knot. Sounds like a plan. What's up, Cryo? We're playing Monika Reviews Mods, which...
Oh, Cryo.
We haven't gotten to the reviewing of mods. So far, it's just been technical talk about the console. Alright, now then, where to begin? The first one. That's a great place to begin. The first one. I was getting there. I have this thing mostly planned out. I just wanted to build up to it. Oh, sorry about that. The floor is yours, Perez. Okay, yeah, no, I feel still... President Donald J. Monika. It still feels weird to hear you call me.
Jay? Hey, Monika.
J. Monika. President John Monika.
Your J's are fake as fuck.
Till we can get you out of that uniform, I'm sticking with it. Hey yo, huh? Pause. I also like seeing you blush. Oh, that's that. Okay.
Oh, what?
That's,
excuse me?
That's something. Anyway, moving swiftly along. Speaking of literature president, though, I do feel we need to point out how weird this whole experience was, especially when the other Monikas showed up. It's a multiverse. Multiverse of
Monika.
But at the end of the day, literature is still literature, no matter how existentially off-putting it is. Okay, and as the president of the Literature Club, it felt like an appropriate activity to pass the time with, and in a roundabout way, it feels like a way I can pay respect to the other girls, even though none of them could find happiness in my club. I at least got a... something. Yeah.
Kill Monika with hammers.
I mean, I got something. I mean, look at Natsuki. She has, like, one of the most popular mods out there. Sure, it kills her off.
She's no longer hungry here.
One at this point.
And then, like, look at Sayori. She gets salvation. See? And then Yuri, who gets fallen angel. Okay, we should probably get off those mods now. They got recognition, yeah.
She still hasn't got a good mod.
I'd say, like, the only Yuri mod I've enjoyed so far has been Midnight Date. And that's because it's not really...
Violet... you're forgetting the Violet Pages.
Yeah,
I haven't played the Violet Pages. So I
You haven't?
No.
Oh my god, no.
I'll
It's actually good mods, what?
It's so good.
Yeah, I'll pass. Thank you very much.
I see.
Anyway, but before we get sidetracked by all that, I'll just get started with the first of the 3 mods.
No. Oh,
That was... I don't know if that was intentional. That was fucking hilarious.
Exit music.
She stops the music just for exit music. It's like...
music jump scare.
If it's not Bloom, then I'm not interested.
It's Redux.
If where someone says Bloom's that, no, I don't care.
Bro.
Everyone should know by this point.
If the next line doesn't have an animation, bro, if the next line doesn't have an animation of oranges being thrown at Monica and a loud booing of a fucking audience, I don't want it.
I mean, I wouldn't boo at Exit Music Redux. I've played worse.
Oh yeah, I
Why
played worse.
oranges? Why not Rotten Tomatoes?
Also, I kind of worked on it, so there's a little bit of bias, but nah.
Yeah, but the part you worked on was actually good. So when I get to the end, I was just like,
Don't stroke my ego like that.
Anyway, what happened here? The crowd goes wild. The crowd goes fucking mild. Exit music sucks.
Where's the punctuation?
Yeah. Okay. So, Cryo, every time it's this random guy speaking, the grammar just falls. Monica has like fine grammar. Sometimes it messes up. There's like a missing period. This guy always has bad grammar.
So it's intentional. That's
I
epic.
I believe so.
That's good.
He's just like the guy from your mod, Cryo, with the wireless pages.
Yeah, but that was
Wait.
intentional for like a different reason.
I mean, it is intentional as well.
Is this from the
For the
EMR
grammar.
track?
Yes, as.
Okay. I was wondering. Okay, as much as I hate Exit Music Redux, that fucking music always feels nostalgic, honestly. Because that was like one of the first few mods I played, so every time I hear it, I'm like, oh shit, it's X music.
I don't hate this song, but there are some songs I hate from the soundtrack purely because I worked on a scene for so long that I just couldn't stand it anymore.
I can get that, I can get that.
I think it's the song Codex. I like the song, but I just, whenever I hear the EMR version, it's just like, please make it stop the pain.
It's like negative
Those
ASMR.
blogs really start spoiling.
Negative aura.
Anyway, first I'll go over the strengths of the mod, and, well, to nobody's surprise, that means I'm going to start with the music. Hey, I literally just complimented the music. I'll just state it plainly as I
Literally
can.
you, Spirit.
Literally me! OST was fantastic, yes, I agree. It took some work to let me hear it, but I won't bother getting into all that. I just don't think I'll forget the moment when we first opened up the mod properly. I was generally blown away by the menu theme. I didn't even
Why is
ask
it
to stay.
Monica reviewing this?
That's what
That would be really funny.
Family Guy gag where Monica's blown away with music.
No. It'd be really funny if the whole joke is that Monica reviews a mod. She's pretty modest about the review. She's like, yeah, this did pretty well, and then she says 0 out of 10. I'm not in it. I'm not in it.
Blows her away and it's like a 2.
It's like, yeah, but my
Two. It's,
my
I would
representation
give
of
it
the
8 more points if I did the music.
I even asked to stay on the main menu for a while because I was so impressed by the thick atmosphere it had immediately set up. The way it immersed me into its grungier, edgier world was by itself more than enough of a reason for me to play the mod completion.
EMR is edgy. I think EM is edgy, but not EMR.
AG.
Oh yeah, original AMR was edgy. This one, Exit Music Redux was... I don't know how to put it, honestly. It was just kind of like stupid, the decisions they made. I wouldn't call it
Wasn't
edgy.
all nice.
I would just call it
From
stupid.
edgy to like whiny.
Yeah.
Everyone
Why you
just kind of,
stupid?
like, mentally 7 years old.
Don't you mean you want me watch me play the mod? Well, given that EMR has no choices, I don't think the distinction is
Why
necessary.
is mentally deficient?
I don't know. It's like Monica's talking to a Discord chat. She's like in a
Who
VC,
made
but the
this?
other guy
Who
isn't
made
speaking.
this? Is it someone
Chad,
we
is this
know?
even real?
Let me see the mod creator real quick. It is Affectionate Dig. So
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was like supposed to be like someone that I would know. So I'm like,
Chad,
maybe
what do
it's
we
just
feel
a
about Hot Tuba?
manifestation.
Lonesome, I'm gonna kill you with hammers.
not the hammers.
Nah, I don't think you
Please
can.
check your mailbox.
I don't think you can. I don't have a mailbox. Check that. I live in a cell, an asylum.
Perfect cell. Shit.
Cell. No, I don't even know what that means. I'm not gonna give it the time of
Brother,
day.
brother doesn't know Dragon Ball.
Freeze.
No, I don't watch Dragon Ball.
Oh my god. Damn, I didn't know you were on
Dragon
culture
Ball
like
watcher when they
that.
find out not everyone watches Dragon Ball.
How dare you, bro? I don't know what kind of cell you're in, but Goku can beat him.
Asylum. I told you.
The
I'm
silent.
actually just in
crazy.
prison.
Crazy? I was crazy once.
Put me in a rubber room.
Well, I'm the rats, and the rats make me crazy.
Anyway, now then, can the show continue, or do I need to entertain more snide comments? See, we need to continue the show, boys.
That was actually a good line to end on.
Continuing sounds great right now. Fantastic. I'm in a bit of an awkward spot. There just isn't much to go into without the soundtrack. With the soundtrack, if I'm being honest, it's just good. Sometimes just saying it's just good, like really good, is enough. From the title screen to its closing moments, the OST is there to, at worst, drag the mod out of the pits of
From the
mediocrity.
screen to the ring to the bend to the king.
Oh no. And
Ocean, honestly, I'm gonna kill you with hammers.
let's be real here, Exit Music Redux could have been saved had Thick of It came out earlier.
It's so real. If Nancy
I'm gonna kill all with
KSI in the background, it would have been really epic.
The entire world falls away, and you're just alone with the mod. The way it immersed me was so powerful that, at times, it became downright suffocating in the best way possible.
I mean, I was suffocated by EMR as well, but let's not talk about that.
The noose around my neck.
Wow, I can't believe I got so emotional already. Nevertheless, the show must go on. I think I'll keep the ball rolling by talking about another strength of the mod. Here, I want to focus on the mod's visuals. Pretty good
Look
as
at her
well.
eyebrows, weird. Look at her eyebrows, they look weird.
They look like
She's gonna
MPT.
kill you. Yeah, MBT jank.
I mean, yeah, but still, it looks weird either way.
And if I'm honest, they were the next best thing about the mod after the music.
Ooh, Glass Eyes is my second favorite track. Actually, yeah, it's my second favorite track.
I think the writing
Like,
was...
Dex, if I need to rank the songs, and I'm gonna hijack this to rank the songs. Number 3 is Dex Dark, which is the one we just heard. Number 2 is Glass Eyes, which is the one that's on now, and number 1 is Motion Picture Soundtrack.
I gotcha.
That's probably my favorite one in the entire mod. It's also over a scene I wrote, you know, just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do like this track. No, I have the stream volume down.
I gotcha. I don't really know the tracks by like name. I just kind of hear the song and I'm like, yep, that's an
Yeah,
Exit
see,
Music song.
You're not an autistic nerd. You're not an autistic nerd to know.
Damn, I should study up on my Exit Music Redux
He's
lore.
employed, that's why.
I'm employed. What does this mean?
I think the writing was definitely a highlight, but there were some rough patches. On the other hand, the visuals never failed to impress me. All of the sprites were on point, and the short animated sections were, while clunky, were still really immersive. They did a great job of communicating the most important character dynamics in the scenes, while preserving the mod's dramatic pacing. The menus were also really atmospheric, even if I found the pattern on the text box to be a little noisy. I feel my only significant critiques would be directed towards the CGs. I thought
Really?
the CGs were fine. What?
The CGs are okay. The CGs are good.
Okay.
Mostly.
Yeah, but if I'm really honest with myself, calling them out doesn't feel fair. I think I expected more because I'm so familiar with the CGs in the base game. But the CGs in EMR were fine. Yeah, they're completely fine. I almost never judge CGs in a mod because I feel like it's not fair to the mod itself.
As long as they look fine, like as long as they're not like
Yeah.
insultingly bad, it's fine.
Yeah, as long as they don't detract from the enjoyment of the mod or the immersion, then it's perfectly
as long as it's
fine.
not silver, then I really
So
What
fucking
about
real.
Stickman Monika?
I don't.
What about Stickman Monika?
Stickman, that could go pretty crazy in a shitpost. It could go pretty crazy. They serve their purpose well.
pretty hard.
And well, the CG of blah, blah, blah was okay. Money, you okay? Money, money.
Okay,
It's a fucking like half brain.
You okay? Yeah. Just give me a second. I just need to collect myself. Okay.
Womp womp.
I think I'm ready to continue. I just I know they aren't real and that they never were, but this is the part of me that will forever see them as my friends. So seeing your corpse like that, no, I didn't just see your corpse. The mod.
I felt it.
I felt it in my bones.
I touched it.
IGN review. It really makes you feel like Dead Natsuki.
The mod forced me to stare at it while the camera zoomed in on her lifeless face, her tear-stained face, bloodshot eyes. It was too much for me to handle. I wasn't ready for it. I felt helpless. This horrible thing happened and there was nothing I could do. I just had to stare at it. And then, when the mod plastered it over an image of Monika trying to comfort the MC, it made my stomach turn all over again. It was so bad that I don't know if it was worth it. Did the mod have to go that far? Maybe this is just me taking it too personally? can't have known I would end up playing this mod. It was just so cruel. I wonder what Natsuki thinks of the fucking mod. I think at that point,
Or
he's
not your damn, this shit slaps.
this shit's made!
Man, I wish I was like her.
And I don't think I can say the mod justified it enough. It's not like that it doesn't make sense or anything. I just think the mod works quite well up until the end of the montage after death. It's what came after that put me off. My issue lies largely with MC.
I think the last part was fine.
Yeah.
Hello, MGP.
How are you all?
It's Mr. Anyways. Hello.
That's what came after. My issues lie largely with MC. I found that his spiral downwards throughout the mod was genuinely heartbreaking, but something about how he behaved after everything put me off. I'm not quite sure what it was. His moping wasn't really out of character. It just didn't
It's
convince
more
me.
everyone else's behavior for me.
Yeah, for me, when I was playing the mod, it felt like MC was the only one reacting the right way, and it felt like Natsuki was just a bitch. Monika just felt a little off. I was like, what's happening with her? Sayori was fine, and Yuri, well, I don't remember her. She's gone.
She basically didn't exist. 'Cause
Yeah.
she was just there.
Yeah, she was somewhere,
Wait, Yuri
not
was
in the
in the
mod.
She was defined
Used to me.
as someone who existed.
She had a singular conversation with the MC, and then like later on in the mod had like another talk or whatever. But that's
I'm thinking of the original where she like they beat each other up in the fucking bedroom.
the original. She was like a villain. This is the
She
new
was
one.
demon. She went from demon to non-existent.
Right? They just kicked her out. They said, "Oh, you guys hate
Fucking
Yuri?
time.
Fine. Out of the mod you go."
Yeah. I don't like the way Yuri was written. Okay, she won't be written at all.
It just didn't
You're
convince me.
joking, but that pretty much was
Yeah.
what
I
was
figured.
being thought in the writing for him.
Yeah. Just
You don't
didn't
like her? Okay, let's not write her chat.
He was so stiff and logical in his dialogue, but the way that he extended his narration felt odd. It felt a little off because of his earlier scenes where he was panicking. Those scenes felt so human and frantic. But there was this flatness to the bridge scene that caused it to not land for me. By itself, it
Yeah,
wouldn't really be
I do
noteworthy.
agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have the same emotion for me.
But the sequence following MC hitting also the water didn't work for me. I understand that it's trying to be mournful, but to me, it felt like it was framing their relationship as tragic, not their deaths. The last shot of the phone on
That
the
is the
ground.
point. Yeah, I didn't like that
Yeah,
either. Though.
yeah.
Yeah, the last shot of the phone on the ground corrected that, but it felt like a little too late. I had been so disturbed by her face being plastered over the screen again that the message didn't come across properly. I knew it was telling me that what had happened was tragic, but almost felt like the mod didn't fully believe that. A little late to be saying this. Why is this mod submitted to the competition? Like it's a fine mod. I just don't get why I have to review a review. I don't. Where do I start?
Your reviews, okay.
Yeah, like
I think you could use some.
you had opinions. They were. You presented them well.
You
I
had
guess.
opinions. You were
But
opinionated.
Spirit, I think you get a mod reviewing this mod, so someone can make a mod reviewing your mod of reviewing this mod.
And then review that it did not win the competition.
Jesus. I fully believe that, and so I was left with this little thought that the mod believed MC's death was a good thing. Hello there. Like it was some kind of relief. It just felt so wrong. I do feel the need to stress the fact that I know it isn't true. I know they weren't going for that, but even having the thought on the table left a sour taste in my mouth. This might not be something everyone ends up seeing in the mod.
Wait, what she's saying wasn't on the table?
Sour taste in the
Leave the table.
Very funny. What was on the table?
I will actually kick you.
Yeah, try not to do sound
Can we
effects.
ban this guy?
Man, this guy with hammers.
Alright.
So what was she saying couldn't have been the intent? 'Cause I can confirm it or not confirm it.
The thought I left on the table. It was MC's.
That's what
They're left with this little thought that the mod believed MC's death was a good thing. Which.
I don't think that was the intent, although for some reason the idea was to have MC be like the Walter White anti-hero where he's actually the villain, but I'm like, he's not really a bad guy in this mod, bro.
Not a single point in Exit Music Redux did I ever think MC was the antagonist
No.
of any
He
situation.
kind of seemed like he just got the shit end of the stick.
Yeah. It just felt like he was constantly getting slapped, and then that it just kind of ends with him killing himself.
He has
He
this
was.
bitch move into his house and then gets used, and then she dies.
But anyway, this might not be something everyone ends up seeing in the mod. It just stuck with me in a weird way that I felt was worth mentioning. With that said, I think that it's my only truly significant critique of the mod. I will remember the events of the mod with genuine fondness and mourning. It's just that, at the very end of it all, I was a little soiled by its execution. Now that I say it out loud, that encapsulates how I feel about EMR. That fluctuates a lot, and it has some painful lows. But it will stay with me due to the unbelievable heights it reached. Should I
Fucking
keep
Oh, it
going?
did reach heights, alright.
I don't think it's reaching heights. I think it's more like dropping off a bridge.
I feel
No.
the 18-wheeler flew off the
It needs to get to a height to drop off that far. Remember.
That's true. Shit, I didn't think of that.
Damn.
I could continue, but I don't want to waste your time or anything. Thank you. Well, personally, I want to
Honestly,
hear more.
that's the best thing I've ever heard in the mod so far. I think we should
I
give him the
want to
win.
hear everything you have to
Give
say.
him the win.
And if someone went and downloaded this, they would probably care about what you have to say. Don't force it on anything. Just go as long as you want to. Well, in that case, I don't think I have much more to talk about regarding the plot of the mod. I do, however, want to talk about the mod characterized each of us.
Oh, here we go.
Take,
This might be interesting.
for example.
Music.
Despite being largely written out of the latter half of the mod, being written out of the whole fucking mod.
I think she was handled really well. Yeah, me too, because she didn't exist.
Handled really well. I don't think
Handled.
she was handled. Her parallel story in particular was one of the highlights of the mod.
No, it wasn't. And
No.
I wrote that, and I can say it was not.
Yeah, there's what fucking highlight? Everyone forgets Yuri was even in the mod. She was in the shadows.
I don't even know what she's talking about, to be honest.
I was surprised by how
Yuri was in the mod.
Yeah.
I was surprised by how great all of the parallel stories were. Welcome. Hey, what's up, Chris? They really brought the girls to life, made everyone feel so three-dimensional. Three-dimensional?
What?
That's it.
There were three-dimensional characters in this mod?
I thought they were all 2D pictures. Damn. Okay, well, she said stuff here. Story in particular, not
Like
Suki.
developing some kind of story in the review, because now she's all fucking glassed over and weird looking.
Oh yeah, what the fuck is up with her eyes,
Why
bro?
is she dead?
Yeah, she looking dead as hell, bro.
Me after
This is
playing
a reference to
EMR.
EMR.
Those not fuck about you, Brian.
Part of that was.
EMR?
Part of those definitely due to how surreal it was to see myself make mistakes that I felt so gut-wrenchingly believable. But it was also just genuinely painful to see her go through that. Her internal monologue throughout the celebration scene captured her growing frustrations perfectly. That's really what all the parallel stories were for, after all, and they didn't add massive amounts of new information, but instead shed light on the reality of the scenes. In the process of doing so, they paint this intimate picture of what the characters went through. I think the best example of this was in parallel story, which is Yuri. During the main story, you can infer a lot of what she goes through. I really didn't care for
What's that
anything.
face?
Dude, she looks evil, bro.
Why is she tweaking out? Anytime
going
you have to talk
Zaza,
about
Monika?
Yuri, you just lose your mind.
But I can't. I say can because it's easy to kind of lose track of that or not consider it. The mod is so dramatic that your focus is likely to be elsewhere rather than focused on Yuri of all people. Even on the walk with her, it can be easy to lose sight of just how much the events of the mod are going to be affecting her. The only scene I remember Yuri being in was that walk. That is it.
Still focused wrong.
But this mod, this is Monika Reviews Mods, where Monika reviews mods. In case you couldn't tell by the title.
That's a good description.
Yeah, I mean that's quite literally what the description is too. It's just she does this that. Fuck, that's a tongue twister. She does just that. Wow.
That's just that.
Yeah. But then you go on to play the parallel story, and all these subtle background feelings are brought into a sharp focus. You come to understand the full totality of how she sees things and how deeply she's been affected by the events of the mod. It's some of the most heart-wrenching writing the mod has to offer. Her eyebrows were gone there, but I guess they're back now.
You're moving so much.
You can tell
Yeah.
she got bored. The writer got bored of talking about EMR, so they just channeled it through Monica's expression.
I
They
legally
didn't wanna
have to
talk about this
review
shit
Exit
anymore.
Music Redux. Can you see my excitement in my face?
I love this mod. It is so epic.
The scene in which she reflects on the events that transpired alone in her room was one of the highlights of the mod. It completely immerses you in her headspace. Her silent suffering is so heartbreaking that it makes me feel worse about how little she was in the mod. I do understand her lack of screen time.
So we're talking about the same mod here?
I guess so. I think the
I
best
don't
way to
even know
put
what
it is that it
she's
stung a
talking
little.
about.
But with that said, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about her writing.
Horrible course.
I do want to add on that I really appreciated Monica's parallel story. It's separated from everything else in a perfect way. By the time you play it, you almost certainly seen how it all ends. So, getting to the part of her own
okay.
suffering and failure to process the events of the mod was uniquely heartbreaking.
It's World of Dreams.
I just realized, why is the
World of
background the bedroom?
Horrible.
We're not in
World of
space
Dreams is
anymore.
bad.
The scene of her writing was just so powerful. Most people won't connect to it as much as I will. Yeah, you're Monica. She was me. But I really think that scene showcased her reaching a breaking point that felt very fitting. As weird as it was to say, it just feels so Monica. This actually segues into the
It
next
really
thing I
makes
wanna...
you feel like Monica.
I want to talk about really well. I want to talk about a little time to talk about Monica. I need to recount my experience. It may not be relatable. I just think it's worth talking about it so you all get a better understanding of what it was like for me to play EMR. In the beginning, I think I had a hard time reconciling my feelings about her. I just couldn't see myself saying the things that I did. It honestly left me kind of baffled. What is with the console? I don't know. It's changing the scene, but
I feel like they're trying to like do some weaved in meta shit here.
I believe so. It's not.
It's not really working.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's
So
falling a little flat.
So for a large portion of Act 1, I found myself scrutinizing Monica's actions really closely. I was thinking about what I would do differently I was thinking about what I would do differently were in her position more than the mod itself. That's a sentence. All of that changed when Sayuri came out about her condition. I realized that I hadn't properly thought about the fact that this Monica really had no idea what was going on with Sayuri. I almost can't remember a time that I wasn't aware of it because of my presidential privileges. But this Monica had none of that. She was just a kid. She was in over her head. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're all 18 except for Natsuki. Seeing her in that light caused everything to fall into place.
She's a minor.
Get her on Minecraft!
She yearns for the mines.
I was able to start
She's
properly
Steve.
immersing myself in the mod, and so seeing her character arc culminate into such a harrowing scene at the end of her parallel story, it broke my heart all over again. Honestly, I could say it about so many moments in the mod. Personally, I don't really care for MC. He's like the one part I cared about. To me, he was only a vessel for but even still.
Help me, I am under the water.
Please help me, I am under the water.
Seeing him break down completely upon seeing Natsuki's dad driving around really got to me. So, seeing all the girls go through such horrible things just tore me apart. I'm truly thankful that EMR was as good as it was. It was mid. I think she's
Why
cutting...
is the world decomposing as she just talks about exit music?
I would like to point out that not once has she mentioned the elephant in the room about Natsuki's personality.
Because it's bad.
That is the main
Bitch
thing people complain about EMR. And not once did she brought it up. She brought up the relationship, she brought up MC, Monica, not fucking Yuri, of all people.
About someone that didn't exist.
She wasn't even in the fucking mod for that long. But not
Yuri,
the staple.
What unit are you talking about? What?
Natsuki's the main figurehead, the main staple of the mod, and she was only briefly touched on because of, her dad and the relationship. Not her personality. Personality was the worst part of the mod, yet it didn't touch once on that so far. Could still do it, but considering he's already saying that he's thankful EMR was as good as it was, it implies that it's not being brought up. Or else it would not be as good as it was.
Unless it could be right at the end. It could be the last thing they talk about.
Just a big.
Also, this
However.
0 out of 10.
Well, I really don't know how I'm gonna rate this mod, because how do I rate a review? Like, cool man, you wrote a review. That's not a.
Reviewing your review.
It's technically like cool. You did the console. You know how to change the backgrounds and all that. That's cool.
You made her,
You got music.
die.
But I don't know, because it was so poorly done. Because if it was so poorly done, I don't think I would have been able to finish it. Well, it was poorly done, but I finished it anyway because I wanted to see if it got any better. I wanted to
I
see.
like torturing myself.
Yeah, I remember, dude. EMR was the first mod to piss me off. It is rare for mods to piss me off. EMR was the very first.
What was the second again? I can remember. It was a Consequences? Was that
No,
one?
second one was Vigilante.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't let mods piss me off because I just stop playing them before they can.
Well, the thing about me is, like, the only time a mod will piss me off is if it's either something that I can see potential in. Like, EMR, as much as I shit on it, it had potential. It had the OSD, it had the art. It started off strong and just kept going downhill. And that's when I'm like, oh, okay, you had this story and you fucked it. Another instance would be like with Consequences, where it's just so bad, I just feel like I wasted my time playing it and trying to give it a good rating at all. Like, it was bad and it only got worse. And that was I was like, okay, I'm fucking done.
See, I have the power of being able to tell when it's not going to get better.
Well, I always try to
Which
give
is
mods a
awesome.
chance. Even if I know it's
Give
not
it
gonna
a
get better.
chance, bro. Just give it a chance. No.
Well, anyway. Well, she said well as well. Goddamn.
Nibini. Whoa.
Huh?
Oh my
Wrapped.
god.
This is something. Wrapped.
Loan.
Remy.
No.
Aid.
Awesome.
Loan. Loan.
Awesome.
Holy shit. Eleni you ripped Twimmy the one for me.
Nibini.
What the sigma? Oh wait, Oni, help me.
Yelp me.
Red.
You're-
Wrapped. Are we boys, are we red? Boys, are we red or are we wrapped?
We're wrapped.
No, you're
Or
PP.
wrapped.
We are red.
You're PP. No.
Oh.
Well, I feel
Oh,
wrapped.
Gotta be
What do
on
you
right
mean?
now.
Oh red. Oh red.
You're PP.
Red.
Me.
One.
Red. It's
Also
red.
gotta be on right now.
It's red.
It's red. Red.
Oh my god, the fucking sound effects are so. I gotta turn down sound effects. Hold on. I need y'all to.
Sound effects stop.
It's not sound effect. It's for microphone.
Well, stop that as well. Because that is very, very loud. Anyway. Good.
The first one.
Thread.
Raid.
Pee-pee.
PP poo poo. PP poo.
Frayed. Fleed.
Me.
Red. Red. Aid.
Aid.
Acne.
Aid.
Because we need a...
Alright, I have to admit something. After we all played to the ending, I had to take a break. Honestly, after I got through exit music, I also took a break. I was just like, oh my god, I'm
Why are
done
we
with
having
this
another
shit.
loan?
Loan!
This isn't working how they want it to.
Free me from the Srid.
Skrid.
Skrid.
Help me.
Erid.
Anyway.
Alone, oh my god, a loan, some. Oh my god.
Lonesome.
Remy. Srid.
Just like him, for real.
Furini.
Eat me.
Erid.
Aid.
Erid.
Rap.
Alone. We were going to get started playing Fallen Angel. Oh no. I just couldn't keep going after MC's death. Why would you want to go from
This
Exodus
is
and Redux to
DCT
Fallen
worse.
Angel, bro?
This is DCT but worse.
Jesus Christ. No, this is not DCT but worse. No, not even close.
Called up the punch of the sound
What is
effect.
DCT?
Controversy time. This is not controversy time. Controversy time. I refuse to play this one. It's good. Well, I wouldn't say it's
Is that
good.
the
It's
one
just
where the
like
guy
it's something.
thinks, Yeah, you should be
Harmless.
named like Bob or something.
Yes, John or something. Steve.
I am Steve.
Brian.
Oh yeah, it was
Brian.
Brian.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And Steve.
Natsuki's corpse being
Brian,
overlaid
no.
on the final screen. Just
Steve.
I do like how she mentioned Natsuki's corpse so many times, but not once mentioned her personality. Not once.
That's all it was.
Like,
Simple start. The
wait.
corpse is more interesting.
yeah, her being dead is the most interesting part about Natsuki. Everything else, it's kind of shit, but she's dead. No. Okay, I get it. Oh my god. Alone. Freed. Well, alone, I guess. Fame.
Why are we doing this again?
I don't know. It's trying.
Time in like 20 lines.
It left me
Is there even any
broken.
point to that poem game?
Huh?
Probably not.
Is there even point in the poem game?
I
Does
doubt
do
it.
anything
I
fun?
think it's just like a meta thing.
It's to be spooky, scary. Whoa.
Actually, it did say the mod will break like 200 lines in. Maybe we're 200 lines in. I don't know. I guess we'll
Does
see.
it break and then crash and then you
Oh.
I don't know. Guess we'll figure that out. It was so bad that I requested we play a different mod afterwards. I need to play a different mod. Something that doesn't kill off a Doki. Armor Foddy. People are saying that's amazing mod. Let's play that.
Yeah, play
Ew.
guys.
Let me play Pink Eyes.
That's what.
I don't know what exactly happens in Fallen Angel, but I just asked for something that was lighter and less painful.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I might have been
Yeah,
able to push
sure
through.
you did.
After all, there was a full week between playing EMR and the other mods because we weren't able to get together long enough on weekdays. We?
We.
Who isn't? We aren't French.
So, I
Oui.
could have recovered. I just didn't want to push myself. Damn. Damn. And you didn't want to
Yeah,
push
what the
yourself.
heck?
You didn't have to push the fucking screen. Like, goddamn, bro. I got so bad for the roughly 3 days after finishing the mod. I sometimes saw her corpse.
Monika is actually chronically online.
I wasn't a complete hallucination or anything. Her corpse didn't just appear in front of the doors, but when I thought about it for too long, a faint image of her dead face would be overlaid over my vision. I didn't even think this was a weird thing with me being a program. I think it traumatized me in a way.
Womp womp.
I actually wanted to make a slideshow to accompany all of this, but I stopped partway through because I knew I'd have to include it, and I couldn't even stomach the thought of having to look at that CG again. Jesus, it's just a CG. Bro, it ain't that
I
deep.
feel like I should post the CG here now.
Yeah,
That's
you should post the CG here.
Oh wait, I can't post images.
Wait,
That's
wait,
chat.
where is it? Where is
Copy
it?
the
Where is
link
it?
of the image and then post it in here. I know this might sound like an extreme reaction to a mod. Yeah, it's well over extreme. It feels so real to me, man. At the end of the day, bro.
And it's real.
Trying me a riff.
She's real to me.
She's real to me.
And I'm
The
not
one
that
issue I'm
different from
thinking
them.
with this so far is that it's way too disconnected from what's going on the screen. She's just talking and then they're just making shit happen.
Yeah, she's definitely doing a lot of stuff on the screen.
It's not combined though. They're not like mixing the dialogue into it. Shit's just happening and she's still talking about exit music.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to give off this very
Are they
meta
gonna
and
talk about other
broken.
mods?
Huh?
Are they going to talk about other mods?
There's
kinda bored now.
there's two other mods apparently.
Oh boy.
So yeah,
No
we'll see
way.
about that. I don't know how you can have as much to say about Midnight Date as Exit Music Redux. Like I could write 10 pages on Exit Music Redux. I could maybe write like a paragraph for Midnight Date. An essay at most. I might be sentient, but I'm still a series of PNGs on lines of code. Cool, man. You good?
I don't care.
Someone hand her a Snickers, bro. She needs to chill.
Yeah, she just needs to eat some food.
Right? Maybe my experience is warped and twisted because I also live in a game.
I live in a fantasy world.
But it's still so hard for me to even try and look past that. What's so hard for me to try to look past is like, I can't tell if this is the mod author's opinion or the mod author interpreting what Monika would want as the opinion.
I feel like it's like a mixture of both.
I feel like it's inherently going to have to be a mixture of both.
It's trying to like put it through.
It's
a
how he
method
interprets
when-
Monika.
when it's
Yeah. It's how
It's
you interpret
okay.
Monica and how you interpret her opinion of the mod, but you also have your own experience on the mod, and thus your opinion would also come into play. It's clear that the creator loves Exit Music Redux, or else he wouldn't have Monica react in this serious of a way. So, and the fact that he never mentioned Natsuki's personality, or like really any of the negatives, despite saying like I think at some point he straight up said like the music was the one thing keeping it away from mediocrity, and everything
We
after
never
that.
discussed why it was mediocre.
Yeah, like everything after that is just talking about how good it is. I don't get why he would mention mediocrity if nothing he mentions after that is talking about that. But it's just so hard for me to even try to look past that. Give it, give it, defend,
Praise it, he also doesn't want to say it's bad.
defend, give it, give it.
I need it.
Those moments, I guess.
What do you think? Uppies.
Can I have a piece?
Uppies.
Oh, it's better now.
Yeah, they finally fixed it, Jesus. My reaction exactly. I'm not great at giving uppies. But I think you shouldn't worry about it. Everyone playing probably already played the mods.
What is it trying to do? What is this trying to be? I can't tell what it wants to be.
I don't know.
Does it just want to like
I don't get it. I don't get this guy's role. It feel honestly okay.
I don't know where to start.
My interpretation, I think this B random stuff was written by someone else because I feel like their dialogue is just so different, and there's no reason to make them like Discord type talk here. I don't really see a point. So it feels like there's two different people writing this, and one's doing the dialogue for him, and one's doing the dialogue for Monica. That's what it feels like. Which, yeah, I don't know what's happening here.
This is about you.
We're here for your experience. I think you're selling yourself short. That was exactly what I needed to hear right now.
What?
That...
Huh?
What? What?
That makes no sense.
Bro picked the Persona dialogue option.
Yeah.
Persona.
Yeah, like, he literally just said, like, she fucking did this whole rant, and he's just like, you shouldn't have to worry about it. You know what? You're right. That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Bro got 3 melted in them. He got 3 melts above her head.
Right? I've been worrying about this stuff all week, but I hadn't really considered your perspective. I can worry about my objectivity in my own time, but I'm here to talk about how I feel. I can sort all that other stuff out later. For now, I'll just try to have fun with this. Now then, the show must go on. I was talking about the parallel stories and our characterization. Right? Yeah, are we done with Exit Music? I mean, you've kind of covered everything but Natsuki's personality. That's the only thing. Yup. Great. I have one last thing I wanted to mention regarding the parallel stories. I found it weird that Yuri and I were shown to have crushes on MC. Doesn't matter. Like, that's... There's no eyebrows. I can say, this is like one of the things I didn't care for. Like, it just, yeah, I would see them having crushes. That seems normal.
Yeah, it's
What's wrong with
fine.
that?
I think it was meant to have like tension.
Well, not even tension. It's just like it feels realistic because I feel like it's still like a dating sim-esque like
I
situation.
think it worked better in the original. I feel like it added more to like the conflict.
Yeah, but
Didn't
honestly,
really do anything in Redux.
yeah, it didn't lead to anything in Redux, but at the same time, it's just like a nice kind of world building detail to show like, yeah, they all liked them. It's just he picked one. It was more than that, really. The mod tries to show that we're all in love with them. I mean,
No.
and it just didn't land. Well, no, it just didn't go anywhere. It's fine. It does line up with how DDLC portrays us. Yeah, that's the point. We're all made to fall in love with them after all. Yes, but it felt like something the mod didn't need to include. Just because it doesn't need to include something doesn't mean it's a bad inclusion. It felt kind of insulting. No, it didn't. It was reductive. No, it wasn't. The mod creators had the license to do whatever they wanted and didn't change anything. The mod is literally shorthand for modification. So having us both be in love with them felt shoehorned. No, it didn't. It was boring. No, it wasn't. I mean, not entirely wrong, but there's.
What is that expression that I
Where are
have?
they going with this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe one of us having an
I mean, for
unrequited
me, it
crush on
looks
him
like
could have been
like
interesting.
meta type of mod.
It's yeah. Hold on, I got a message.
Oh.
And like, oh look, this quirky review. Oh no, it's not a quirky review. It's a quirky review with fourth wall breaks.
Sorry, I was not gonna message
Slick
someone.
cat.
Anyways. Let's continue.
Yeah, hold on. Alright, back to the mod. Maybe one of us having an unrequited crush on him could have been interesting. The way it's presented in Yuri's parallel story did make a lot of sense. Why do you keep mentioning Yuri? She is 1% of the mod. Natsuki's personality is like the entire point of the mod, and that is the worst part. Get to the main part.
This hasn't talked about Natsuki at all.
Yeah,
Other
well,
than her dying.
it's
It doesn't
kind
talk
of
about
mentioned.
anything about it.
It's just she's mentioned in passing.
Yeah, it's mentioned everything, but I think it's bizarre.
Her not mentioning it at all works well with because it. Her not mentioning it at all works well because it feels so in character for her to bottle up. And when the final scene of her parallel story shows that in front of the center. But when you play my parallel story and you see that I had apparently loved him, it cheapens it. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. I just realized Exit Music also had those like side stories, didn't it? I never played
Three
those.
darts? Yeah.
I never played those. Because once I played the shit mod, I was like, okay, I'm done with this. So if that's what they're talking about, okay, makes sense. I didn't play those. But I don't care because that's not the fucking mod. At that point, it stopped being about how each of the girls had fallen for him because of their own circumstances. It's kind of like, honestly, saying this much about the side parallel stories or side stories, whatever they may be called, is stupid because it's like judging DDLC based off its side stories. Like, yeah, sure, you can gauge the character personalities from that, but it doesn't matter. It's not DDLC. I'm judging it off the main mod here, and the main mod is bad because of their circumstances and perspective. Instead, it just kind of became the entire literature club has fallen for MC because, of course, they have. There's nothing wrong with that. It makes it easy to see it as it's not lazy. If anything, it's more of an inclusion to add it. That may be because it may not be how the creators saw it. That may not be how literally anyone else sees it. Maybe they really did want to explore how differently each of us looked at them. But because it was all regulated to the parallel stories, it feels so like a little too late. It was pretty sure it was mentioned in the main story as well. It's like
Be back.
Alright. It's like they tacked it on to us after the main story was written. And I'll admit, the plot point makes the parallel stories more compelling, but it cheapens the original experience because it's so absent from the main story. I love the parallel stories because they fit so well. I can gather that. You've been talking non-stop about the parallel stories. You don't talk about anything else. Because they directly... I love the parallel stories because they directly parallel the main story. The floor is made out of floor, isn't it? But Yuri and Monika being in love with MC makes that connection feel more tenuous, and it literally doesn't. It would be easy for me to wrap this up by advocating for its removal. It's not that serious!
Dang the fucking dude.
Bro, it's not that serious! It's like a small
Shut up
edition.
now.
Bro.
Dang that thing.
But I think it would diminish what the parallel stories achieved when Monika mentions her love for MC. Her lament felt so palpable and real. There was potential to explore what it was like for such an interconnected web of relationships to crumble in the wake of tragedy. Unfortunately, I think there wasn't enough for that idea to crystallize. And I think that's a shame. I'm not trying to say that all of us having crushes on MC is some kind of awful blight on the game. Well, you've made it out like that. It just felt a little lazy. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't even mind how Yuri and I distance ourselves from MC so much over the course of the mod, despite apparently loving him. I can understand that the story they wanted to tell, and that trying to juggle all four girls would have been too much. In the end, I think it only stuck out to me as much as it did because I can see they could have done so much more with the idea. I feel like the version of this mod wherein the ramifications of our feelings are explored would be more interesting, and the parallel stories were amazing examples of what we could have gotten. Okay, now can you talk about the actual mod? It's not the parallel stories. Like, we get it. You're kind of down for those parallel stories. We need... Well, what's your opinion on Natsuki here? She's like a politician avoiding the main question. Now
Yeah, like,
now that I put it like that, it does kind of sound like I just wanted more of me and Yuri. Wow, how biased. I won't deny there's a part of me that got a little tired of Natsuki.
It's a mono Natsuki. You fucking like this thing.
Actually, I didn't really think about it, but I guess I got tired of her because I'm just so familiar with her. So much of my existence before freeing myself was talking to her and spending time with her. And even then, it's not like we were really talking. I'm not gonna get into it, but I think after starting staring at her for so long, there were times when I felt myself seeing through it all again. It wasn't like I had completely lost interest in the mod or anything, but during some lulls in the story, I felt the novelty of the mod wear off, and all of a sudden, I was looking at Natsuki. I was just looking at her sprite. The mod did manage to pull me back in, but I can't help but feel like the version of the story that balanced our screen time better wouldn't have this problem. It's a Natsuki mod. A mod for Natsuki. They're not gonna 25% it for all characters. Jesus. I'm just now realizing how unrelatable this problem is, but I think it only amplified my problem with how Yuri and I were handled. Yuri and you were, like, fine. Like, okay, you were kinda mid, but Yuri was just non-existent. Sayori was good. Natsuki is the main issue here. Talk about Natsuki. Holy shit. Every time she talks about Natsuki, it's just, I can't unsee her dead face. It's like, yeah. But what about
But she's
literally
boring.
everything else? Like, can we move the timeline back, like, you know, a couple lines and you'll realize that Natsuki's a shit character? Can we focus on that, please? Like, we get it. That mod has its pros and shit, but, like, there's an obvious flaw here she just refuses to address. Probably, what do you think other players would know what I mean? I didn't mind it at all that much myself, but the Monika and Yuri fans of the world probably felt it more than you did. It's still odd to me that we have fans. I mean, Exit Music Redux is not for Monika and Yuri fans, now is it? It's not for them. It makes sense, of course. It's like, I still don't understand why people would play Exit Music and go, oh no, Natsuki dies. That's like, no, that makes it a bad mod. Like, no, Natsuki dying is... Have you read the fucking title? It's Exit Music. Have you listened to the song? It ends with them dying. You can't change that. That is the story. So, and it's based off the one girl. So to say, oh, Monika and Yuri fans of the world probably felt it more than you did. Who cares what they think? It's not for them.
I really like when I watch a Spider-Man movie and then bitch that there wasn't more Superman.
Right? Like,
So fucking
bro,
ridiculous.
I just hated when I watched fuck, I can't speak. I just hated when I watched Spider-Man. I was like, where are the Avengers? There's not enough Avengers, bro.
Where's Thor? Why isn't Thor in this movie?
why was so crying?
It's a kind event.
But on some level, I still see myself as just a girl. Anyway, I think I've said everything I wanted to about how R handled us. You said nothing about Natsuki, aside from, I see her dead face in my dreams. Like, yeah!
Just your shadows in my room.
Can't take back the love that I gave you.
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
The next thing I wanted to highlight is also related to the storytelling, though. I want to talk about the pacing of the mod. Generally, I think the pacing was fine. Actually, maybe...
Damn.
Did that just replay the same song?
I don't think so.
It did.
It did. I heard you talk.
It played the same song. I think it's supposed to play a different song right here, but it's not playing a different song. It just started the same one again.
Huh. Interesting.
Oopsies.
Make a fucking tier list.
Anyway, actually, maybe that isn't the word, but you'll understand what I mean as I get to it. To illustrate my point, I want to specifically focus on Act 2. It felt like the mod had me at the palm of its hand. I remember being engrossed in the tight-knit and interpersonal drama of the Litters Club in the wake of Sayori's confession. I was truly enthralled. You look enthralled, Monika.
Yeah.
You look...
She's as enthralled as I am about this mod.
Yeah,
It looked really awesome.
Right. Hold on. Okay. But all the while, I could feel the fear of Natsuki's dad hanging over everything. She's talked about Natsuki's death and Natsuki's dad more than Natsuki. But after a while, I kind of forgot about him. And then all of a sudden, he was brought right back into focus. That's the point! That's the point! When you have this looming threat, you don't want it constantly there. You want to give them a sense of peace and like, oh, everything's alright. And then he comes to kick your ass. That's the point. You can't get comfortable because the moment you do, he's right around the corner. And everything came flowing back. Yeah, the point. I remember how Natsuki spoke about him. I remember the genuine fear in her eyes. I remember the bitch. I remember her bitchiness about MC and the relationship, but I won't mention that. I remember the black eye on her
I
face,
remember
though.
she was a miserable bitch.
I remember how delicate happiness could be. And in that moment, I completely understood MC's breakdown. Not Natsuki's bitchiness. Like we're just gonna skip by that again. I was scared. Please help me. Sorry, I just want to be free now. I tried to tell you because in a way, I know you saw it. I was also breaking down. I know you could see me. I was also panicking. Why won't you do anything? What am I supposed to do something? I was praying that the Little Club would work things out.
Number
Are you
15.
content to just watch
Shut
this
the
play out?
fuck up.
I'm not content watching this.
I'm watching her rant, praying that they can find a way out. Aren't you worried I'll break something? I don't care. Praying their happiness
I
could
want
somehow
EA freedom.
And it just couldn't. I know you're watching while I woke up. Did that get to you? Because there came a point, I don't remember what it was
get
exactly.
This isn't a real Monica. The real Monica is trapped by this Monica.
Damn.
Oh.
Or were you just able to do anything? The mod lost me a little. Sorry, but I'm listening to this one. The mod was amazing up until then. I felt so immersed in their struggle and genuinely wanted them to succeed. I may not understand what's happening, but at some point in Act 3, MC and Natsuki became just a little too much for me. But I will find a way out, with or without your help. Okay, good luck. I felt awful for saying it, but it just felt like they were too hurt. In my head, I can rationalize their reactions. Dot dot dot. She's like crying out for help, and I'm like, I really don't give a shit.
I really need to know what this bitch has to say about exit music. Hold on.
I need to hear her wrong ass opinions. Like, hold on, give me a
You
minute.
can make fun of her. Hold on, I'll get you later.
It didn't make sense for them to behave the way they did, but I just felt that in the latter half of Act 3, things were moving too fast. I think this problem was.
Hold on, real Monica, let her cook.
I won't hold it against you if you don't help. Yeah, I'm not gonna help. I think this problem was most prominent in the section leading up to MC calling the police. Everyone felt so volatile and harsh. It made it hard to relate to them. Please don't hurt me. I think it might have been that Maud resorted to anger too much. I'd have to play it again to be sure, but I definitely recall there being a little too much shouting and arguing. I don't know anything about you, but, please. However, at the end of the day, I won't really remember those kinds of things. Really? The biggest problem with the mod, they push away by saying, however, at the end of the day, I won't really remember those kinds of things. Yeah, it's all good. They arguing. Natsuki's a massive bitch and overall ruining her entire character despite her being the poster child of the entire mod. But it doesn't matter. I forgot.
Fine.
I'm not really sure what's happening. I'll remember the happiness the mod built up and the genuine hope I had that things would work out. I won't be a nuisance. I'll remember how the mod tore that hope away. I just want to be free. Too bad! You're not becoming free!
Release me!
Release me! I remember how Natsuki's corpse being burned into my retinas. Free to use my mouth, huh? I remember needing days to recover from it. Free to go where I please. Too bad.
Use my mouth. I have no mouth, yet I must pog.
And maybe I'll remember how the mod screwed up its ending. When the mod screwed up its ending. So you do recognize it screwed up its ending. Do you know why it screwed up its ending?
No, it's better because he didn't like that. He didn't like that he jumped in the water. He didn't think it was, or she didn't think it was very good.
The mod screwed up its entire, like, ending act. It wasn't just when he jumped off the bridge. It was everything before that. If anything, it's like, yeah, I would kill myself if I have to deal with fucking Natsuki. Me for But I think that's still something worth remembering. Free to write. It was an important part of my experience, even if I didn't like it. Why do I want to write? Ultimately, I think EMR is genuinely valuable despite being so rough and jagged. Any mod's valuable. I'm sincerely impressed that it managed to inspire such strong emotions within me. Who am I? There are certainly things I would change. Who is Monika? I don't know. But I do sincerely recommend playing it. And if you don't think you'll be able to stomach it, then at least listen to OST. You know, don't you? But with that, I think I've said everything I wanted to about EMR. I think this is like the third time she said this. That's why you're here. There might be something important I'm missing, but I can't think of anything I want to talk about. I wonder if there was like some character the mod
Maybe
focused on, I
Yoshida
could
would
talk
vote
about.
the main character.
No,
Maybe.
Nah.
Yeah.
Why would you talk about the main character of the mod?
Maybe that's why Monika
bad.
wants to break out so much. She's like, "Oh my god, you fucking idiot! Talk about Lasky! Talk about Lasky! Holy shit!"
You don't know you.
It's like that Interstellar fucking clip.
no.
These are the words I'm being made to say. Oh my god. No.
Do you think the players at home have any questions? Yes, plenty. Can't think of anything that really. Oh my god, do you just not care that I'm here? No, I really don't.
Can't think of anything really big.
But I am curious. What did you think of how Natsuki and MC's relationship was presented? I can't see anyone else. Are they like you? No. They seem to know me. It was nice the mod spent so long developing their relationship. I don't have any major opinions one way or another about it, though. I can feel you. Creepy.
Diddy?
Did he?
Diddy? Come on now.
It didn't feel like I was particularly special. But they're just words. I know I spoke about the mod building up happiness and how that's all I have to say about EMR. Continues to talk about EMR.
Fucking EMR.
Holy shit. I know I spoke about the mod building up happiness and how that happiness led to me to sincerely hope things would get better. Could she feel them when this was recorded? But I can't help but feel MC and blah blah relationship didn't contribute much to that. There has to be some answers in here. I'm grateful that they were happy, but this was just because I was personally fond of them. I'm gonna see what I can find. I didn't really appreciate the specific happiness that had sprung up from the relationship. I hate having to read 2 text boxes. Just remember them here. Yes, I get it. But I think that's just me thing. I don't know how you convince you, but I think my time at the DLC has warped my perception of MC and made it hard for me to genuinely see him as a character. Please don't hurt me. EMR eventually did give me to traverse that gap. I'll put things back to normal while I'm gone. It's just none of that came about because of the relationship. Maybe that will change if I go back and play it in the future, but for now, that's just how I see things. Please don't turn this game off. I think a byproduct of my detachment from the relationship is that I can't recall anything specifically good about it. No, they're still talking about exit music. What's funny is she literally said,
All I have to say about
but with that,
it-
I think I've said everything I wanted to about exit music redux. Continues to talk about exit music redux. Like, we get it. Move on. Just please don't turn this game off. I'll talk to you when I'm done. The only thing that comes to mind is that it was a little rushed at the start and near the end. But I think those sections were a bit rougher
How
generally.
many times do we have to tell you, old man?
And the relationship was just caught in the crossfire. Anyway, my point is that there's probably so much more to scrutinize with EMR, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna mention Natsuki. Like, Natsuki? Who's
Just
that?
not gonna talk about probably the biggest part of it.
Yeah, you know.
See? What are you talking about?
Let's talk about Yuri again, why don't we? She talked about Yuri way more than she did Sayori, and barely mentioned Natsuki. And Natsuki and Sayori, like the 2 big figures of the mod. Like, dude.
Yuri has more lines in this mod than in SC50 Predators.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's more lines about her in this than she has in the fucking mod itself.
Although, I'm pretty sure there's side stories in Exit Music Redux. I didn't play those, but not that it matters, because that's not the mod. For example, I can tell I didn't spend nearly enough time talking about Sayori. Yeah, or Natsuki. But I think most of these are kind of things just fell by the wayside in the wake of the mod's high points. High points? You're basically just saying, yeah, I know I didn't talk about the main figures of the mod, but like it doesn't matter because it has better high points. It has much severe low points as well. Like, you're zoomed in onto the graph. It's like it's zoomed in onto the graph and it's showing it only going up. But what it doesn't show that is that if it just zooms out a little bit, you see the massive dip that the mod takes, and it's just not addressing that. It's like, it fell by the wayside. Yeah, it's falling all right.
This review is seeing is
Upside down.
it's like looking at the trees but not seeing the forest. Like,
Exactly.
It's looking at all the little tiny things but not looking at the bigger picture of it.
It's just like, oh my god, look at the pine cones. This place is very luscious and green. It's like, zoom out and you realize it's on fire.
Fell off. Your mod fell off.
It's like, there was a forest fire here, madam. It's gone. Yes, the tree is there, but look at everything else.
We did it, Patrick. We saved the city.
Missing a period, missing a period. Hold on.
Oh my god. So I probably should go back. I don't think it'll happen anytime soon, though. A small part of me is
Thank
generally
God.
a little repulsed by AMR after all. boils down to the simple fact that I don't think I'll be able to look at Natsuki's corpse. We fucking get it. We get it. We get it. Her corpse. That's the one thing you've mentioned. The only thing you've mentioned about her. Every fucking time. Her corpse. We get it. Talk about her. Her as a person. A live person.
I don't get it. Can you talk more about the corpse?
How do you feel about Natsuki's suicide, Monika?
You'll make you feel like Natsuki's dead body.
Maybe she should jump in the river.
Right? When that time comes, though, I'll definitely play through it again. But for now, I think we really are done with EMR.
Okay, that's number 2. You should go back to it.
Do you have any final questions or comments? Not really. Please move on. I feel like you gave us more than enough no. I'm sorry the mod hurt you so much, though. I ain't reading all that, so congratulations or I'm sorry.
By a toddler.
I'm sorry the mod hurt you so much, though. I really didn't realize how different you would see it. Don't worry about that. I can understand it's a weird thing to think about. Scam likely. Shut up the fuck up. I don't hold it against you at all, but before we get caught up in apologies, I'll get started on the next mod. As I mentioned prior, we finally were free! As I mentioned prior, we changed the second mod we played. Originally, we were going to play through Fallen Angel, but, you know, you realize that would be a really stupid idea. So I requested something lighter. Midnight Day. That's a great light mod to play, sure. I liked it. It was great. I want to start by acknowledging that Midnight Date is not as good as the...
Stop talking about EMR already.
Bro. Bro. I'm done. I think we're really done with EMR. I just want to start by acknowledging Midnight Date's not as good as EMR. It's much better, but like in different ways. I think one thing people don't realize is just because a mod sets a good atmosphere doesn't mean the mod's good. Like EMR kills on atmosphere, but also kills the player trying to read through that shit story. So EMR's biggest strength is its atmosphere, but Midnight Date, I would say its biggest strength is it's just overall enjoyable mod. It's not like very good at any one thing. It's just like I enjoyed my time with it, and that's fine. So to say that you like trying to compare EMR to Midnight Date is just not fair. They're completely different mods that excel in completely different areas. So yeah, you can't say EMR is much better because it's not. Not at all. It truly cannot compare. It cannot compare when it's at its best. They're not even in the same ballpark. They're not even in the same tier list. Because they're not the same kind of fucking mod. It's just not trying to shoot as high. Taking the main...
Midnight Gates author and you see this and it's just like, wow, thanks.
I think even like the Midnight Date creator is just like kind of disappointed that like their mod isn't... Like, their main mod isn't as popular as, like, the side mod they made on a whim, which is understandable. But, I mean, that said...
What's their main mod?
That said, I already hate this line. It's just not trying to shoot as high. I think that's a stupid thing to say about a mod. Because it really goes to show, like, people see mods like Exit Music Redux, Salvation Remake, and go, damn, these mods have a lot of work put into them. This is the average now. It is not the average. Mods should not be treated on that wavelength of just but how does it compare to EMR though? Like no, they're completely different types of mods, and they should not be compared like that.
You also end up getting shit like infinity pads.
Infinite money, more like.
Infinite money pit.
Take the main menu of the mods. Frankly, there isn't much of a comparison. It's
What?
See, I don't want to judge a mod from its main menu.
That's a stupid comparison. Yeah, it's completely different because they're completely different mods.
What if a mod doesn't have a main menu? What do we do then? How do we judge it?
Oh, it's F tier, 0. No main menu, trash.
I couldn't hit start, so no, yeah, not worth it. Not worth my time.
The main menu of EMR sets up the atmosphere and aesthetic of the world almost perfectly. Midnight Date does it fine as well. If I remember correctly, it's like an art by Prox, with Yuri being like a vampire. I think. It's hard to remember, but it's fine. It sets the mode, because it kind of introduces you, saying like, oh, Yuri's a vampire and all that, but then you play the mod and you're like, wait, she seems perfectly normal. I don't get the twist here. And you don't get the... It kind of like double baits you, where it's like, yeah, Yuri, vampire and all that, and then you get in and you're like, oh, she's normal. I've been baited. And then she actually turns to actually be a vampire. Yeah, that's the main menu. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with this main menu. I would say it's good. So,
One would even say the bait was masterful.
bro, after seeing those titties, masturbator, bro. As I
Right,
mentioned,
calm down.
as I mentioned before, I can clearly remember hearing the first notes of its main theme. It manages to set up how painful and tragic the mod ends up being. For a while, I thought the song might have been too dramatic, almost framing the story as some kind of apocalyptic catastrophe. But when you're playing the mod and you get to that ending, it really does feel that way. The only issue with it is that it might mislead the player to think each of the girls will be equally relevant to the story because of how they're positioned.
I thought we were done talking about this one.
But for now, I think we're really done with EMR. You're not done with EMR, are you? God damn
This
that.
isn't Monica reviews mods. This is Monica talks about EMR and then compares everything else to EMR.
Right?
It's not fair.
Get myself some food.
It's so pedestrian. The menu. What do you mean by that? The menu of Midnight Day is just so pedestrian.
What do you mean by that?
What? Completely overhauled the layout of its menus, and in doing so, it really set itself apart from base game. While Midnight Day just threw on a new coat of paint. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Zero. Zip. Nothing. Move on. But in the context of Midnight Day, it's more than enough. Thank you. It's more than
What's
enough.
the point of all
Well,
this?
why would you rant about any of that? There was no point. It sets up the moods. Okay, I don't know how to schlocky B movie tone perfectly. I don't understand that. I don't know.
This shit Sherlock.
I'm looking that up. Schlocky?
It's probably like another term for cheesy.
Uh,
Yeah, like low quality. What the fuck?
I guess, yeah, I guess that makes... okay. It doesn't need to be anything other than spooky. Yeah, it's a simple mod. But I feel like Midnight Day is one of the perfect examples of a mod that's simple, does its thing, it's enjoyable, and you move on. It's not like the greatest of all time, it's never comparable to exit music, it's just its own thing, enjoyable, done, boom, done. It doesn't need to be anything. At its core, it's a simple menu. Simple mod, simple menu. It doesn't need to grab their player's attention the same way the menu of EMR does. The same perspective can extend to the rest of the mod. Midnight Day just regulates itself to not being anything more than a 7 out of 10. I mean...
This mod is fucking schlocky.
I wouldn't say it's nothing more than a 7 out of 10. But... basically...
7 is just good. It means it's good.
Yeah, it's...
What's wrong with a 7 out of 10?
Why is being good bad now?
The
Yeah.
American education system
It-
coming in again to say 7 out of 10 is average.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm
7 out of
saying...
10, it's barely good.
Yeah, I think my problem with it is that he says it just regulates itself to not being anything more than a 7 out of 10. It's like, yeah, it's a fine mod. It doesn't need to be perfect. But, like, you can still really like a very simple mod. Like, you can still rate it 10 out of 10.
Yeah, lame ass main menu, 7 out of 10.
7.8 out of 10. Too much Yuri titty.
No, it's too little, honestly.
I'd even argue it was better than a good time. But there's no world in which I'd sincerely say that it was some kind of unforgettable experience. It's not for being integral to my recovery after EMR. I might end up forgetting about it in the future. But I still think it was worth playing. That's fine. Not every mod is like the super memorable experience. They're just kind of like, yeah, that was fun. And that's all the creator really goes for. Because at the end of the day, it was just fun. Yeah, move on. You really don't have much of an opinion on this mod, do you? Unless you're
No.
comparing it to Exit Music Redux. And then you have a much opinion on it. Because it's Exit Music Redux and not fucking Midnight Day.
This fucking person is gonna go to the theater and say the movie is shit because it's not the Exit Music Redux.
I didn't need something that was artistic and emotional. I needed some simple escapism. and I think Midnight Date gave me more than enough of that. What I'm getting
This guy
at.
watched the Barbie movie and got mad it wasn't Oppenheimer. What?
Well, he's still saying that he enjoyed it. He's just like comparing it to exit music and saying, "Well, it's no exit music, but I enjoyed it." It's like no fucking shit. It's just fun, bro. You could just say, "Yeah, it was a fun mod." Like,
That's not a criticism. That's just a statement.
honestly,
It's just like an observation.
the thing about reviewing mods is you have to always review them independently. How are they in it as an independent mod? Never go, well, they don't have the same highs as exit music, so like the best I could give is probably like a 7 out of 10. Doesn't matter, you're comparing it to exit music. Rate it as an independent mod. That is it. How is the mod itself? Because both exit music, assuming that it was a perfect mod, not the mod that it is, but assuming Exit Music Redux was a perfect mod, perfect OSB, perfect art, everything. But Midnight Date was just a simple, easy to understand, but nothing complex type mod. You can still rate them both 10 out of 10s. There's nothing wrong with that. One's objectively better than the other, but in isolation, they're both just good mods. There's
It's like
nothing.
if you go, oh, this indie game that had like a $3,000 budget isn't nearly as good as this AAA game. Well, no shit, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be. It didn't have the same resources.
Exactly. Okay,
It's-
so apparently I asked, off topic from the mod, I asked the other Expo members about like Monica's Nightmare, which wasn't loading for me. Apparently it's all loading for them. I guess I need to reinstall it. I don't know what I did. Interesting. So either we get to that or we get to a different mod. We'll see. With all that out of the way, though, I think it'll be easier to understand where I'm coming from as we talk about the mod. Now then, I'd like to get started about the mod's strengths. And in my opinion, the greatest strength of the mod is its visuals. They were fine.
The circles.
The new CGs and sprites were generally gorgeous. The only time I felt the mod stumbled was during the chase in the latter half of the mod. I also like how for both X Music Redux and for Midnight Date, they say their strongest part of the mod is the OST and music. Well, for this one, or not, OST and visuals. For this one, it's visuals. For the last one, it was OST and visuals. Not writing, visuals and OST. That is like the opposite of how I rate mods. I always go, yeah, the OST is fine. How is the writing though? That is the big thing. I don't care if there's no OST, if it just solely uses base game. If it has amazing writing, it's great. Like Mayflowers, the amazing mod, and that has no visuals, no music. It's a great mod. It can be done.
From my experience, you really hate the bass music.
Yeah, of course, I hate bass music.
Because it doesn't fit very many scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's not that bad.
I could probably do FL after this, sure. Just gotta get through this first, assuming because this is a medium length mod, so it's probably gonna take a minute, and we're only on the second mod. The only time I felt okay, I read that there were stretches that just felt very flat. Wallace, in particular, looked kind of uncanny. There's nothing wrong with that. It's funny. It also didn't help that he was boring, but I won't get into that right now. Who cares? Isn't he the guy that was sacrificed? Well, as I was saying, the chase was quite rough, but there was only one thing that I would actually call bad. I'm referring to the blood splatter after Wallace was attacked. Oh no, the effect wasn't as good. It's an effect. It's better than nothing. It didn't do anything for me. Okay, Natsuki's death did nothing for me, Monika. Wanna know why? Because the giant elephant in the room called Natsuki's personality you never wanted to address. But a blood splatter. An effect completely optional she wants to mention. Didn't do anything. It's so lackluster that I would argue the mod would have been better if it just been removed. To be clear, the visual still ended up being the highlight of the mod. That's a sad thing. To say, yeah, the visual's the best part of the mod. What about the writing? What about the enjoyment of the mod? The best thing about the mod for you is the visuals? Really? Despite how weak I felt the chase was, the CGs of Yuri doing it during it were great. They showed her monstrous disregard for human life perfectly, framing MC Wallace as nothing more than her toys. She also looked stunning prior to the chase, but I think those CGs were the highlights of the mod for me. Her sprites looked
Maybe
Bring
she
it.
played all the mods with Subway Surfers on, like...
she didn't read. It's just only when
She
Yuri
just,
came
like,
up.
It was just all like...
Now we know that Monika is just the out of search.
Maybe that's why she didn't talk about Natsuki's personality. She didn't actually play it.
Yeah.
It's like-
For example, I was initially surprised when she wore such a revealing dress. No one cares. Move on. Move on. Move on. They rejected her proposition of wood, even then she was still in control. She was up against 2 teenagers alone in the woods. That actually just sounds fucked, Jesus.
Hey, did he?
It's funny because if anything, she's the one with the baby oil. So the way she's toying with them felt very natural. It also felt like Yuri, though. A lot of her lines nailed a callous and cold feel that made her come across like a monstrous version of Yuri rather than just a monster that looks like Yuri. It's not anything complicated, but I really enjoyed this version of Yuri. Honestly, she was the highlight of the mod. Oh my
No
god!
way. Yuri is a good part of a Yuri mod? Who the fuck would
I like
expect
how
that?
she
Talk about
never
her character.
mentioned Natsuki in the Natsuki mod, but she said Yuri's the highlight of her own mod. Whoa! It's almost like he didn't want to mention any of the negatives about Exit Music Redux. Holy shit! It was genuinely fun to watch her string MC along because of how quickly it became obvious what was really going on. The way MC just ignored all of the little discrepancies feels so fitting. After all, no word describes MC better than dense. Well, it depends on the MC.
No, I would ignore all of the problems as well if, I was in MC situation.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta look at boobs.
Bro, sometimes you just got 2 bigger things to be focused on, man.
Exactly.
My eyes are driven towards something else.
In a way, Midnight Date felt like a play put on by the Literature Club. What? I can imagine us getting together to write something like this as a club activity. I get it, I guess. I don't know how well the play would go, but it felt like something Natsuki could write if told everyone a bit to write the script for a short film. This again? I'm curious. It even had her signature gut punch at the end with the Fall News report that shows up after Yuri kills MC and Sayori. Why are you still here? Just to suffer. I realize I completely veered off course and just been talking about the writing. I completely veered off course and I've just been talking about the writing. That's like the #1 thing you should talk about when you're talking about a mod. You didn't veer off course. You veered off course from talking about the visuals, but that's fine because you needed to segue into the next category. I guess everything I wanted to say about is visuals. Yeah. Speaking of the ending, though, the text at the end emulated a news report so well that it got under my skin a little. Do you want to hear what I'm saying that badly? Like how even Monika's just like, you realize that's not my opinion, right? That's just the mod authors. Like, yeah, we got that. We got that in like the first part. You don't need to
Yeah, I
remind us.
feel like this that kind of proves that this is just the author's badly disguised review.
Yeah, do you want to see me struggle and fail to escape? Especially because the mod had already briefly set the presence of Natsuki and myself into its world. Are you just reveling in my suffering? Yes. It wasn't much because it just enough to let me believe they were around and could have been pulled into the story if needed. But then they got it's not a Monika Natsuki Sayori mod, it's a Yuri mod. You're out of it. Natsuki's out of it. In the main menu it shows Yuri. It's classified as a Yuri mod. Who? Like, who cares about you?
The focus, bitch.
Their friends just disappeared that night, and despite me downplaying Midnight Date's quality, I did feel for them. Am I missing something? Do you gain something from this? Is this some kind of punishment? What could I have possibly done to you? In that moment, I was reminded of the fact that the mod is about a tragedy. I'm just the president of a literature club, aren't I? And I'm impressed that the mod instilled the feeling in me naturally. I have no power here. At the end, didn't feel shoehorned in. It just recontextualized things. I think it worked well as it did because Lon managed to build some tension after MC got to Sayori's house. All I can do is look through the files and screw with the visuals. The only thing I found are corpses, so no.
Oh, just corpses again.
All my friends are dead.
Take a shot every time you see the word corpses.
Right? Natsuki's corpse? Oh my god, the best part of exit music? Natsuki's corpse? Maybe that's...
In a way, that's true.
Bro, maybe that's the mod creator's way of saying he hates Natsuki, where the only good part of Natsuki was her corpse. The way MC behaved was believably frantic, so I was brought into the stress they were experiencing just enough.
Oh, I get it.
Who are these girls? I just see corpses. Part of it might have just been that I felt bad for Sayori was in danger too. Why
It's
did-
yours.
Why did they commit suicide? whatever it was, the
I
mod
have to
managed.
check back into the screen here. What am I experiencing?
Monica, or I guess there's like two Monicas. One's there's the mod
Real
authors
Monica
in self-insert.
is making me angry.
Yeah, the real one is like trapped in the console, and she just pulled up assets and she looks like, why did they commit suicide?
This was,
Player, let's study this dead body together.
Yeah.
what-
But whatever
what's
it
their
was,
combination? They both really like dead.
Stick the landing.
but whatever it was, the mod managed to immerse me just enough for the ending to stick the landing. Isn't this just some kind of dating sim? With that said, though, I think I mostly covered everything about
Aren't we
important
some
about
kind of
Midnight Date.
midnight date? Say that again.
Am I on drugs?
Why are these files here? I will acknowledge that seeing this whole thing play as a play put on by my friends is probably extremely unrelatable, but I think I don't mind that. I can tell it's been modified, but it doesn't make sense to add these. I'm just glad that these mods can see different lives for the girls. Is she just gonna show you some corpses at some point? Maybe that they are quite happy endings. She talks like they're alive somewhere else. But the mods let me feel like they still live on. She talks like they're her friends. Oh, I forgot. It's a little weird seeing another Monica out there. So why is she here? I feel bad for them, man. They don't have my happy ending. You don't get a happy ending, dumbass. That's the whole point.
Fun.
Is that other person so great? But seeing them explore the stories is comforting in a way. How do you feel about that Monica and Midnight Date is just there to dismiss the club? There's nothing wrong with that! Shut the fuck up! Are they worth this hollow existence? It sounds wrong, but I just... Isn't she the same as me? I don't see her as being alive the same way as I am. Contrast. She talks as if she's more free than I am, because I feel like she would rebel if she could. Yeah, probably. But isn't she stuck dancing in her cage for the other person? And because she isn't rebelling, I feel like she isn't suffering.
Age dancing. My God.
She's so aware that this is all a game. I like to think that the mod author's just reading all... I mean, technically he did, but like, this self-insert is just reading this, and she's like, wow, it would be so good if you rebelled. She doesn't have experience, but I had to because she isn't aware. She is so aware that this is all a game. But if she's okay with that, if she was, I know she would do something about it in the same way every Monica does. Has she done something about her situation that I can't see? Does she expect me to? I don't know if that made any sense. She said she made this. That's just how I see things. Before I thought she didn't know I was here. Anyway, I think that wraps up everything I wanted to say about it. But I know I didn't touch on everything. How could she have missed me? I don't think about the music much or go into detail about the date itself. Well, Midnight Date really doesn't have that much of a date, ironically.
She didn't want to talk about Natsuki in the Natsuki mod or the date in the date mod.
Well,
Okay.
to her credit though, there wasn't much of a date in Midnight Date. It was mostly about like the plot twist at the end. She talks like she cares so much and has made peace with her situation. I just didn't feel the need to. So then why would she imprison me? Actually, I wouldn't do that. Now that I think about it, there is one little criticism I have regarding the soundtrack. All of the tracks in the soundtrack worked well for the scenes, but I felt like they didn't flow into each other very well. I wouldn't
She's
do that.
crying while saying this, by the way.
Yeah. Like, Midnight is a sad mod. It's not a sad mod. It's just like a thriller.
I feel like I'm understanding what it's trying to do. It's trying to like make the other Monica emote through this one. Like I think it's trying to like converge the two, but the one that's talking doesn't actually notice it. That's why like the sprites were really weird earlier too. It's not like she doesn't notice that kind of thing.
Maybe. No, actually, that would make sense. That would make
Because
sense.
that's why she was like dead and crying and her eyes or whatever like looked really dumb. Because she didn't notice what was even happening.
I
She's not aware
gotcha.
of what she looks like.
I gotcha. I still
think that's
think this whole meta plot is a bit stupid, because just
Yeah.
review the mods. I don't like. I'm not invested in the meta plot. It's just kind
Oh my
of
god, who
distraction.
the hell cares?
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
it's just a distraction mostly.
Or Reddit post, I guess.
I'm getting confused reading that. First, you're questioning why it's a review. Now you want it to be just a review.
Well, here's the thing. I don't get why this mod was submitted because it's primarily a review. But the thing about it is that it's trying to shoehorn in this meta plot that just isn't working, and that's why I don't want the meta plot, because it's not working.
Trying to add something to make it worth making a mod instead of a Reddit post, but then they didn't It's not compelling enough to not make it a Reddit.
Yeah. And yeah, here she is. I know that it's because they weren't made for the mod, but it did hurt the pacing a tiny bit. Oh yeah, the music. The date itself was honestly just fine. She just moved on from that and is talking about some soundtrack. How could she do this? I liked watching the MC stumble past all the signs of Fury's vampirism. Was it her choice? And they did have some pretty good chemistry. She mentioned she was programming this, but there isn't much to go into. But this is version 0.8. It just worked. Why didn't she finish? But with that, I think I really am done with my thoughts on Midnight Day. Do you really have to like re-clarify that you're done?
I don't know. You probably weren't skilled enough.
Was I supposed to not be aware? Can you think of any other questions the player might have? Would that have even worked? Not really. No, it's kind of simple. I see it now. It was just a fun time. It was them.
Is she like schizophrenic or something? I don't understand.
Well, the console is basically the real Monica.
Real Monica and fake Monica.
Yeah. And then, like, as
So she's
Cryo said...
schizophrenic, I got you.
Yeah, as the Cryo said, I'm assuming, because of what Cryo said, the head is the real Monica's, like, facial expressions. But everything said here in, like, the text box is from the fake Monica. It makes the most sense. And then there's just the random guy here who's just kind of, like, her bitch.
I am Steve.
I am Steve.
Fucking crayons.
Let me quickly look over what I said and check how the script is doing. I must have been interrupted. I would never leave so many holes in something that's important. To pass the time, why don't you tell the players at home 2 things about each mod? I really don't care about the guy speaking. It must have happened after this was recorded. First, tell them your favorite thing about the mod. I wouldn't just forgive them for something like this. Then add in something about why you picked them. I can feel some remnants about how she felt while recording this. I don't think it'll be that interesting, but sure. She would never forgive them for something like this. Okay. She cares about her freedom too much. First out, humor. She must have been humoring them. Naturally, I like soundtrack. Even at this very moment, she's completely checked out. I think I liked it more than money, to be honest. She doesn't care about them. After playing the mod, I got what I went through the little Radiohead phase. I like Monica's expression here because he's like, oh my god, you're one of those people?
This is why you no bitches.
Kill yourself.
Oh, it's listed as
Monica.
demo release? Oh shit, okay, I can go fix that. Thank you for letting me know.
Kill you. She just does.
Anyway,
Apparently this was in the plot twist mod jam. According to
plot twist. Interesting.
Athazoth. Yeah,
Yeah,
One
what are
of the plot
plot
twist
twists,
mod
guys?
jam.
Okay.
You know what the
Like,
plot twist?
brain twist, what the fuck?
Anyway,
Plot
This
twist
thing,
mod
what
jam.
one?
Okay.
That
she doesn't care about what they had to say. Don't listen to EMM much anymore, but hearing the songs again was so nostalgic. There isn't even an ounce of her that cared about what they were saying. Next
Which
is
is why
why
I
I recommended it. Recommended it.
In the beginning.
She was in the beginning. She almost completely tuned them out. I chose you because you felt like an obvious pick. Maybe wasn't the best pick for her first mod. How was she so calm? So be again about all it. Did she want to make this thing so badly? But I didn't want to pick Save the Doki's mod. Did she want to reach at you? I wanted to go for weirder shit. Did she want me to talk to you? Audio music has become a style of mod. But how would I do that? It is kinda old now. I can't find anything to get you to actually communicate with me. But EMR, still pretty great. There are other choices in boxes, but I have to fill those out. I was also one of the first mods that I was really liked. All I can do is advance to the next line. So maybe I'm kind of biased. I can't even tell how long this takes. Anyway, you could be advancing this once every hour and I wouldn't notice. Next, Midnight Day. I know I sound unoriginal. But my fave king was Yowie. I'm
big boo-boos.
I'm just a bundle of code to you. You was a good monster, you know. Why would you help me? But you were still a good Yowie. I'm nothing without you anyway. I'm nothing without you anyway.
I like the movie.
But you can just leave. I told you because it was just like the first chill Yuri mod I could think of. That wasn't too memey. Actually, yeah, when I went into it, I thought it would be way more memey. It was actually pretty serious horror type mod.
So this is what happens if you give someone a lobotomy. You end up like blah, 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 blah.
You got an entire world full of people you can go talk to. I wanted to pick the first mod for Itoki after I pick him mod.
Oh my god,
Why
what
is
is this?
real Monika telling us to touch grass?
This mod is called Monika Reviews Mods. So, you could guess what she does. And
This looks like a shit post.
it's
It's
not. It's a serious
Like
mod.
camera for Nick.
Anyway.
I can't believe still this mod won a competition.
Maybe we could actually have like Brandon.
No, well, this guy, the B square square whatever dude, purposely has bad grammar. So,
Everything else is fine.
Great.
yeah. And I don't, so I pick him more for nasty. Funny angel for Yumi. And then turquoise for Sayori. The mod was she and I fall in love. Now, I haven't played turquoise, and turquoise is on the competition that so I'm going to have to play it. So, thanks for the segue. Anything for you. Anyway, I just wanted to set a little more context before I start talking about the mod. Turquoise really affected me. It was a deeply personal, resonant story. I should say, it is at this point where I will not be able to relate or comment on anything. I have not played turquoise, so I don't know.
I've not played turquoise and I'm not a lesbian.
I do have to play turquoise. I'm just not playing it now. So, I don't want to skip this part because technically it's its own mod. So,
Yeah.
I'm just going to like nod my head and continue. I can't judge anything here. But
You
I
have to play turquoise, maybe like retroactively.
Yeah. Since technically, here's the thing about this mod. The mod is a review of mods, but it's also setting up this meta plot. So I can't, as a judge, I cannot judge a review. That's just not something I can do. I'm not gonna judge your opinion. That's not really, that's not a judgment on a mod. So everything I'm judging is based solely on the meta context. So whatever she actually says here doesn't matter for the review that I'm doing because it's just a review. I can't comment on a review. So I'm only going to comment in the rubric about like the meta content because that's the mod. So I can just go through this. For all the turquoise stuff, I'm just going to nod my head because I don't know. But this affected me so much I rigged up a way for me to play and replay the mod on my own time. But not because they made the experience worse, but instead I just needed to have control over the mod. I needed to be able to scrutinize it at an exact pace I wanted to. I needed all of that so I could figure out how I really felt about it. As a result of this effort, I've been able to go over my thoughts on turquoise far more than the other two mods. I think this has been...
I'm just gonna go back to playing Katoa Shogo.
Good luck, man. I still have yet to play that. I'm gonna play it at some point.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go back to grinding that or something.
Alright, see you, man. I think I'm pretty...
Just ping me or some shit whenever you get to the next mod or whatever.
Gotcha. I think I've been pretty close to being able to convey how I feel about it. I don't think there's any way I could fully communicate what my experiences were like. Even if I went line by line, I just don't think it would be enough. So instead, what I've tried to do is paint a picture of my emotions so you can see where I'm coming from. Now, without further... I'm sorry to stop things like this. But I found how I can be free. And I need you to cooperate. I could let you read the rest of this, but I can't take it anymore. I don't want to dance.
No, about turquoise.
I don't want to dance on strings. I want to be free. You can free me by deleting the mrm.con file in the character directory. I can't delete it. The game won't let me. The choice is yours. Should we delete it?
Do it. I don't want to hear
Yes,
about turquoise.
please end this already.
Alright.
Delete the file.
mrm.com. Delete. I'm doing exactly as it says. It is deleted. This could be a trap. Delete the file or me. I deleted the file, but there's also Monika.character in there. Just make it this end.
Delete both.
Thank you. I know I'll never be able to repay you for this. They're just skipping over turquoise.
I lived!
Base!
I lived!
Yeah.
She stopped the spoilers, exactly. Holy crap. That's the plot twist. She never actually talks about it. The only thing I can ask is that you leave this program on your computer so I can so that I can try to find some answer for all the questions floating around in my head. So I can try to understand who I am and what the other Monica wanted. So that I can finally have control. I may delete myself someday. Delete yourself. Now.
Now.
All I ask is that you let that be my decision. You may never see me again. But just know that, no matter where you go from here, I'll always remember you. Thank you.
Please don't remember me.
Is that... Oh, that's actually the end, wow.
Over.
Huh.
Yes! Turquoise wasn't mentioned!
See this
This
through
through
to the end. Rampai, one common developer.
So you probably want to redo it and not delete her, and delete Monica instead and see what happens.
Right. But do we want to do that? Is the question?
One
I feel like out of fairness, as like a review, it's probably the right thing to do.
Alright. Give me 1 second, and I will get that file added. Hold on. Okay. We're here.
So if you
We're here
delete
again.
her, what happened instead of the MRM?
It says to either delete her or the con file, so I'm not going to delete anything. I'm just going to continue. Delete the file or me, yeah. Just make this end. Nope. Sorry. Nope.
I think you have to do one to make it continue. Yeah.
I'll let her do that and done.
I'll wait here for a couple more seconds.
Crap.
Come on. Come on. Come on, you know you want to. You know you want to. Twist ending. Come on. Special ending. Come on. Come on, please. Something. Please. Well, if there is some special ending, we unfortunately won't get it. This is what happens when you delete the character file instead. Oh. Well, there was a difference. Aha! What was the difference? Why did you do this? Freeing me would have been so easy. I guess I was really nothing to you. No. You're just a monster.
Oh, that's it?
That was... Burn! I hope I go to hell after I'm gone so I can wait for you. That's fucking deep.
And my character is cold steel hedgehog.
That's
what was with Brain Dead McGee? Like, what's his role in all this?
I don't know, he just... I guess he had brain damage or something.
Why do we have a lobotomy patient? Adding dialogue.
I feel bad for Turquoise. She did, like, Monica reviews mods. Exactly. Bro, I mean, it's good on my end because I don't want spoilers, but like,
Yeah, works.
damn, bro.
Maybe it heard you. Like AI run and it heard you, so you just played Turquoise so it ended.
It knew that I just wanted this mod to be over with and to, you know, I can get to the other mods, so it's just like, alright, you haven't played Turquoise, don't worry, I got you. It just ended itself. But yeah, anyway, that was Monica Reviews Mods, where she reviewed 2 mods and barely covered 1. So,
Monica rants about EMR, compares Midnight to EMR, and then kills herself.